On this farm, up to 10 tons of shrimp can be raised each year. At harvest time, the scene is intense. Shrimp are hauled in with massive nets, poured into heavy baskets weighing nearly 90 pounds each, and immediately covered with layers of ice to preserve their delicate freshness. But what seems like a simple catch is only the final step of a much larger, highly sophisticated journey. So how does this $80 billion industry manage to produce millions of freshwater shrimp every single year? The answer lies in a fascinating process that transformed global seafood production forever. By the late 1960s, shrimp fishing reached a crisis point. Traditional fishermen could no longer keep up with the world's exploding demand, fueled by population growth and a sharp rise in seafood consumption. This shortage pushed scientists and entrepreneurs to develop commercial shrimp farming, an innovation that reshaped global aquaculture. For coastal communities, it was more than just a breakthrough. It became a lifeline, creating jobs, stabilizing incomes, and reducing pressure on wild shrimp populations. Asia quickly emerged as the heart of this revolution. With its tropical climate and centuries of experience in aquatic farming, nations like Thailand, Vietnam, and China soon became global leaders in shrimp production. The farming journey begins with the land itself. Freshwater shrimp farms are typically built near clean and abundant water sources. Once a suitable site is chosen, massive culture ponds are dug, each spanning at least 5,000 square feet with a depth between 3 and 5 feet. These ponds form the foundation of the shrimp's artificial habitat, but because they are man-made, water retention is often poor, causing seepage. To overcome this, farmers reinforce the base with a protective mesh before installing a specialized plastic liner. Finally, the pond is sealed with a black geomembrane, creating what's known as a lined pond. This innovation doesn't just prevent water loss, it protects the ecosystem by keeping waste, leftover feed, and bacteria from seeping into the soil. In fact, a well-maintained lined pond can last up to a decade, ensuring consistent production cycles. At the center of these modern ponds lies a sump, designed as a collection point for waste, uneaten feed, and discarded shells. This sump also serves as the main drainage outlet, making cleaning far more efficient. Aeration systems surround the pond, pumping oxygen directly into the water. Paddle wheels fixed to floating buoys churn constantly, creating currents that push debris toward the sump while distributing oxygen evenly throughout the pond. This circulation not only keeps the water fresh, but also encourages shrimp to swim more actively, reducing stress and promoting faster, healthier growth. Once the pond environment is stabilized, the next stage begins: stocking. Farmers carefully select Pacific whiteleg shrimp, a species prized for its rapid growth and adaptability. At specialized hatcheries, shrimp are nurtured from eggs to larvae, passing through 3 critical developmental stages in just 3 weeks. By the time they are ready to be moved, the juveniles are uniform in size and health, giving farmers a strong foundation for successful cultivation. The transfer process is a race against time. Larvae are packed into bags, each carrying around 14,000 to 15,000 shrimp, and rushed to the grow-out ponds. Speed is crucial here. If the shrimp are released too slowly or unevenly, some may fail to adapt, leading to stunted growth or mortality. Farmers carefully monitor dissolved oxygen levels during this critical window. Automated aeration systems activate immediately if oxygen levels dip, ensuring the young shrimp adjust smoothly to their new home. Within just days, the environment stabilizes and growth accelerates. As soon as the tiny shrimp larvae are released into the pond, the race begins, the fattening process that will transform them into market-ready shrimp. Their journey starts with a carefully engineered diet, a precise blend of probiotics, fish meal, fish oil, soybean meal, and rice bran. This formula does more than provide essential nutrients, it fortifies their immunity, giving them the strength to resist disease in an environment where survival is never guaranteed. 4 times a day, an automatic feeding system spreads this special feed evenly across the pond, ensuring every shrimp gets its share. In just 12 hours, they consume an amount of food equal to roughly 5% of their body weight. With this strict regime, the shrimp grow fast, stay healthy, and push the farm's efficiency to its peak. But feed alone isn't enough. In shrimp farming, water is everything, and keeping it clean is the toughest challenge. The process starts with a drum filter spinning at high speed, using centrifugal force to remove solid waste. Then comes the real test: handling dissolved impurities. The water flows into tanks packed with plastic media that provide massive surface area for trapping waste. Thanks to this layered filtration system, over 95% of the water is reused, cutting down on waste and costs. Weekly, water samples are collected and tested for quality. Shrimp waste quickly breaks down into ammonia, which can turn deadly at high levels. Constant monitoring ensures ammonia levels stay within safe limits, protecting the delicate balance that keeps the shrimp alive. Temperature, too, is critical. Shrimp can survive up to 93 degrees Fahrenheit, but it's a dangerous threshold. Growth slows, stress rises, and disease risk climbs. If water dips below 65 degrees Fahrenheit, growth nearly stops. Only by maintaining the sweet spot can the shrimp thrive, growing quickly without strain. 3 months into the cycle, the ponds are full of fast-growing shrimp, nearly uniform in size. Just weeks remain until harvest. At 4 to 5 months, they've reached their market weight, between 0.7 and 1.1 ounces each. The pond water is lowered to make collection easier, and then comes the dramatic moment. A 35-foot net is cast along the pond's edge, slowly drawn tight, circling in on the shrimp until they are trapped together. As the net is pulled in, thousands of shrimp are hauled ashore, placed into 40-kilogram baskets, and quickly sorted. Workers separate them by size and grade, discarding the undersized or irregular ones. The rest are immediately buried in ice, locking in freshness before being rushed to the processing plant. At the processing facility, the shrimp undergo their first treatment, a saline wash to kill bacteria and boost food safety. Then they're plunged into icy water, washing away dirt and microorganisms while locking in freshness. Roughly 15–20% of the harvest is set aside as fresh shrimp for direct market sales. The rest begin the transformation into frozen products for global export. Fresh shrimp are carefully prepared, heads and shells removed by hand, leaving only firm, clean meat. Workers sort them meticulously by size before sending them into deep chill storage, preventing bacterial growth and preserving pristine quality. For frozen products, the process becomes a high-tech spectacle. Shrimp are blanched at 194 degrees Fahrenheit for just 30 seconds, loosening shells for easier peeling. Then they enter a specialized peeling machine, where rotating rubber rollers and streams of water strip away shells automatically, eliminating the grueling manual labor once required. Peeled shrimp are rinsed, inspected by workers for stray shell fragments, and then scanned by advanced machines using lasers and computer vision. These systems analyze up to 40 shrimp per second, sorting them into 12 precise size categories, while rejecting anything that doesn't meet strict standards. The result is absolute consistency. Every bag matches the specification on the label. Once sorted and cleared by quality control, the shrimp move into a rapid freezing chamber, set to -29 degrees Fahrenheit. The goal: bring their core temperature down to 1 degree Fahrenheit as quickly as possible, preserving firm texture and fresh taste. Frozen shrimp are packed into 1.5 kilogram bags, sealed tight, and placed into cold storage, where they remain stable until shipped to markets around the world. In another part of the facility, a different product takes shape: crispy breaded shrimp. Here, shrimp are seasoned, dipped in egg, and coated with flour before being breaded again to form a crunchy outer layer. They're fried in hot oil, flash frozen on a conveyor belt so each one stays separate, then portioned into packs. A thin glaze of ice is applied to lock in freshness and prevent freezer burn. Whether sold fresh, frozen, or breaded, every shrimp that leaves this facility carries the same promise: consistent quality, safety, and flavor for consumers worldwide.